What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Technique Tuesday. On this episode, we're going to be training and learning what we call the box drill. We're going to be training with some knives, so grab your weapons, grab your partner, and let's get training. Alright, so we're going to be going over what we call the box drill in Kali. That is a knife drill when you and your partner has a knife. The reason why it's called a box drill is because it goes over 4 major sections of the box. So from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then 4 looping back to 1 so that you and your partner can train without stopping. So let's break it down. Step number 1, we're going to be starting in the Bakal grip or the advanced grip, and we're going to deliver from the top left corner, and we're going to have a backhand strike here. So whether this is me blocking or me attacking, it only matters when it decides if I'm going first or my partner's going first. From 1 to 2, I'm going to parry this down, and I'm going to catch it with my left hand. I want to sandwich it and secure the grip. Okay? The key important part when I do this is that I don't pass it down and into my hand where I end up stabbing myself with either my blade or my opponent's blade. At the same time, when I bring it down, if I do it too wide, then this goes into my hip and then it also backfires on me. So I want to be able to position myself and control it where I know exactly where my blade is, where my partner's blade is, and where the distance is between my body and his blade. What you can also add on to step 1 when going down to 2 is as I bring it down here, I can twist the blade and then cut. Whether I cut by sliding their hand down or I cut by sliding the blade down. Okay, so step number 2, we're going to go from 2 to 3. We're going to go horizontally across the body. We started off with 1, we go into 2. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create some space where I want to thrust into the body. Whether I get it or not, it doesn't matter. I'm going to step in with my right leg, I'm going to shoot, and my partner is going to take his safety hand and pass it. He's going to guide it across to hopefully finish my strike for me. If it's too slow, then I end up cutting here or cutting this way. Okay, from the other side it'll look like this. We start off with number 1 here. I bring it down and I step in with the thrust and my partner tries to finish it. Okay, the key point there is when I'm in this position, if I thrust, notice the distance that we have between each other. This isn't a powerful thrust. So basically I'm giving away my hand. I step and I give a slight pull. I don't want to pull too hard, but I want to pull enough where he tries to stay in the same area so that my weapon can get closer to deliver a much fatal blow. At the same time, my partner is trying to scoop back with his body because you can be all classical if you want with all these techniques, but if you don't do it correctly, after you're done that parry or that pass, that blade is going to cut you. It's either going to puncture into you or it's going to stab you. And that's something you have to be very cautious when you're dealing with edged weapons. So we have 1 here. I go 2, he scoops back. So he's trying to avoid his body as well as using his hands to assist his safety. Okay, so as we move from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, moving on to 3 to 4, this is a recovery or an offensive movement by myself. So we start off with 1 here, we step in on 2, we're going to chamber this up on top of the shoulder and we're going to come back to the temple on the section number 4. So this is step number 3. What I'm trying to do is 2 things. 1, finish it. Very, very simple. Okay? More so for the drill, what I want is I want his hand to come out. I want to bait his hand out to the side and I want him to connect. What I'm trying to do in this position is set up a wrist lock where I can turn and eventually cut and finish. Okay, so let's take a couple steps back. We have 1, 2, 3, and down. That's going to be our finishing position for number 3 and before we move on. You don't want to push too hard down where they drop because your idea is you want to just make them focus on my blade and not on this blade that I still have down here. This drill might happen in a series of 1 to 2 to 3, or it might happen a series of 1 to 3, or it could be from 2 to 3. All that matters is that I get this hand baited away where I have the attention here and not down here. Okay, so as I get the attention here, I can wrist lock to set up for my final strike. Okay, from the other side, we go 1 to 2. When I go for 3, make sure you emphasize this so the hand comes outside. If I attack very narrow, his hand might come pinky up, which is okay, or it might come thumb up. You never know. Okay, you don't want that variable to happen between you and your opponent. So I'm going to go wide here. where I get the pinky, where almost like he's trying to pass it away from him, and that's going to initiate the wrist lock there. Okay, so let's finish off the drill. We have 1, we step with 2, we hook around on 3, we bend it down to clear, we're going to cut. I can essentially just take my hand away like this. But what good is that? We want to utilize the weapon as much as we can. We're going to push down, twist so our palm faces down, and now I have 2 options. I can step in and cut the neck, or I can just simply cut across, trying to aim for the collarbone, but definitely cutting across the bicep. Okay, so in level of severity, that's up to you and how you want to apply it, if you even want to cut at all. You can also use that cutting motion to just pull away back to you. Nice and compressed, ready to chamber. Okay, so we have 1, step 2, 3, cut 4. This should be our final position before we loop it back for our partner. Okay, from the other side, it'll look like this. We go 1 on the outside, 2, we step in, 3, we hook around, and 4, we bring it back to our starting position here. Alright, so the beauty of the drill is that, like I said, there's a way to loop it so that my partner has the chance to do all 4 sections without us stopping and resetting. So if I started the drill, we're going to go through 1 to 2 to 3 and then to 4. And as I fire back here like it's my turn again, he's going to stop it with his safety hand. Okay? Because right now I have his hand trapped down here. Though I have it trapped, I don't have it locked. So he's going to bring this up. And the way he's going to release my hand, notice my palm is up. He's going to hit my safety hand right on my live hand here. And that's going to force me to release. As I get into that position, he'll flow it down. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 back to 1. Alright, so once you have all the techniques down from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 back to 1, and with the loop, then you can start adding a little bit more flair to it. You can add some footwork, you can add a little bit more speed, a little bit more emphasis on the attacks so that you can train your body as closely as possible without getting hurt. So you progressively want to build your way up. You start slow, and we start speeding it up here. Eventually, it becomes muscle memory where I can flow without really thinking while still reacting. Alright, so that was your Technique Tuesday for this week. As always, remember when you're training with any sort of weapon, including empty hand, you take your time, do it slowly, make sure you understand the techniques before you start adding a little bit of flair and a little bit of power. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. We're going to have some special giveaways and some exclusive content as we count down to the 10K mark. Thank you guys for subscribing to us. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that button, hit that thumbs up as well. And until next time, catch you guys then.